Or do you compile them somewhere?
And so you just stay alert, do your work, don't worry about the world going by. It doesn't mean that you can sit around and not do anything. You've got to get your butt in gear and do it. And don't take no for an answer. Translate those ideas to cinema or to a painting or to whatever. And figure out a way to get it done.
Give me 1 second. Just gotta. It's cold out there. Wow, hey, welcome back. Thanks for coming. It's the Hotline Show. It's the 46th one.
It's January 19, 2022, and it's a Wednesday. Here in LA, a cloudy morning, very still right now, 54 degrees Fahrenheit, around 12 Celsius. Today I was thinking about Dolly Parton and Janis Joplin. They both have a birthday today. But I was thinking about Dolly Parton and her song, I Will Always Love You, made super famous by Whitney Houston, but Dolly's version is very beautiful. So please listen to Dolly Parton singing I Will Always Love You. This afternoon, it'll be going up to 64 degrees Fahrenheit, around 18 Celsius, and it's going to be cloudy for a while, but later in the day, possibly even before lunch, but looks certainly after lunch or at lunch. When you're eating lunch, if you look out the window, you might start seeing beautiful blue skies and golden sunshine all along the way. Everyone, have a great day.
Wow, that was David Lynch 3 years ago to the day. Similar weather here, I think. We did lose a legend. It's sad. I've been thinking about it a lot. David Lynch, inspiring artist to so many people. It's funny, I think we got a call about David Lynch early on in the show, and someone asked me if I liked him, and I think I said I wasn't a fan of his movies, and that's somewhat true. I don't love David Lynch movies. I respect them, and I really sort of get it. When I was a kid in high school, my best friend was the biggest David Lynch fan. So he would put on Eraserhead all the time, Blue Velvet, Dune. So we'd watch those on his little TV in his bedroom, and I obviously absorbed all of that, and I was sort of a fan because he was a fan. He rubbed off on me, and he brought me into that world, and I appreciated it. And I think I always had a little bit of David Lynch in my head. Certainly was never one of my favorite artists, but I definitely respected him, and I sort of admired how he acted and his presence and just the way he was.
So what are you eating at first? Tell me what you're eating.
I'm eating, for lunch, tomatoes, tuna fish, feta cheese, and olive oil.
Now, here's what's interesting about you. You eat that every day.
every day.
Every day. You eat the same thing.
Yeah, it's very good. You know,
Well, I'm sure it is. Otherwise, we wouldn't eat it every day. would we?
Right,
And what do we eat for dinner?
chicken, little pieces of chicken and broccoli, and a little soy sauce.
Every day.
Yeah, every day except when I travel. Then I go off that.
Is this, can we say you're a creature of habit?
Yes, habit in a daily routine. And then when there's some sort of order there, then you're free to mentally go off any place. You've got a safe sort of foundation and a place to spring off from.
And you view that in terms of the creative process as very important.
It was very important for me.
And in many ways, a lot of his work has influenced mine. I think sometimes, people come and visit up here, upstate, and they're like, this reminds me of Twin Peaks. We should make a movie like Twin Peaks around here. And that might be the reason why I stopped liking him so much, because it almost seemed cliche. I mean, but that's a sign of how influential he is and was as an artist, that certain things, certain places, certain ways things looked conjured Lynch. Of course, there's the daily weather report. I love those, and I would check in on those from time to time. I mean, what a great project. Probably my favorite of his work.
Good morning. It's August 21, 2020, and once again, it's a Friday. Here in LA, some low clouds and fog, clearing a little bit now. Very still, around 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 Celsius. I'm wearing dark glasses today because I'm seeing the future and it's looking very bright.
If you're new here, this is the Hotline Show. If you don't know how it works, there's a number in the description below. Call that number, ask a question. It can be about anything. Usually it's about photography, but sometimes we talk about other things like soup or salad. What do you prefer? It's best if you call me before Wednesday of every week. I get calls on Friday. I usually record on Friday, and I'm already called up. So don't call Friday. I mean, you can call any day, but it's going to be another week, and I've got some in the bank. So just call anytime. But if you're expecting it to be right away, it might take some time. This week, well, I've been thinking about a lot of stuff. It's slow for me. It's my slow season. Just waiting for projects to pick up and whatnot. It's so cold outside. But one thing that I started thinking about was LED light panels. I'm sort of obsessed with LED lighting. And I was looking around for like a big panel, like, I don't know, flat, lightweight for photographers and their negatives. Like, I mean, you can find these things, but they're expensive and they're not good and they're big or they're heavy. And I feel like there's a hole in the market there for someone to really get into building like nice light boxes. So if I had more time and energy, I would want to do that, build it. I was looking at LED websites, make my own kit. I think that would just be a lot of fun. If anyone wants to go in on that, let me know. I think there's something there. One other thing is I was looking at photos of photographers and portraits of photographers, like a photographer taking a photo of a photographer, and just seeing them like holding their cameras or posing with their camera. Like it's a 4x5 camera. And I was thinking, like, is that cheesy? I remember some people would come and come photograph me, and I think I was like, no, I don't want to be with my camera. Should a photographer pose with their camera? That's what I'm wondering. Like, I think so. For a while, I thought it was really corny, but now it's like, oh, okay, it's like a sign of the era to be with a camera, especially if it's like an interesting camera, right? Like a large format or medium format. If you pose with this, you just look like an idiot because anyone holding a Sony is just like not cool. But if you have any camera that isn't Sony, Canon, or Nikon, then you should pose with it. Anyway, we're going to do it. We got a couple calls today. We're going to get right into it. First call.
Hey Noah, it's Brad from First Class. I'm up in the lavatory still, and just to prove it to you, there's the First Class toilet where we do all of our peeing and pooping. Hey, I have a question for you. Have you ever seen any unruly behavior on an airplane? Like someone that got too drunk, or there was like a fight, or like an emergency situation? Maybe all the passengers had to like tackle somebody that was misbehaving. Would you be honest, would you be able to step up and save other passengers if they needed you? Okay, let me know. Big fan of the show.
Brad from First Class, thanks for calling again. I appreciate it. Unruly behavior on an airplane, and would I do anything to stop it? You know, I've been thinking about this, and I don't really think I have experienced anything too bad. I feel like I have been on planes where something has happened far away from me and you see some commotion, but I wasn't near it to be involved in any way. So there's that. And then just thinking about like a real terrifying emergency situation, like maybe some terrorist event or something, and I'd have to get up and try to fight for survival to save everyone. No, I would not do that. I avoid conflict at all costs. I think there's stronger people who might be able to do something better than me, and I don't want to get hurt. I mean, I hurt my finger, and I've been barely able to do anything for the past 2 weeks. So I think I'll leave it to others. It's just not my training. You know, I take pictures. I'm soft. But it's definitely interesting to think about. I hope someone would step up. It's just not going to be me. Brad, thanks for calling. Call back anytime. Next caller.
Hey Noah, it's Brian in Minneapolis. I just finished the experiment of waiting and then watching 3 episodes in a row, and I gotta say, it kind of works. I like the time shifts. You kind of feel it, and it all blends together with all the cast of characters. I recommend it, so I won't see you for a while, so I'm going to catch you up on some things and comments that I saw. First of all, Sternfeld large format, I'm going to do that when I'm like 65. I'm going to wait till I can barely walk, and then we'll do that then. Patience and progress, wait a decade, yes. I mean, my big New York projects, like, I'm going to be working on that for another 5 years, 10 years after it's done. Got to do it. Don't play a finite game. Play the infinite game, and then you'll be all better. So I want you to make all the books. Do that. Go nuts with it. I think that's a great New Year's resolution for you. And I'm really sorry you hurt your finger. That kind of sucks. I had a bum rotator cuff. I don't know. The doctor was making fun of me because I'm almost 50, and I think that kind of is a shitty thing for them to do, but whatever. I've been working on this walk video like your every day, and like the video editing is maddening. I really hate it, So, is the show got some momentum going? I think so, probably. And then last thing, Diachronic project. I've been doing this one for a whole year, and then they put this fence up on the Washington Avenue Bridge by the University of Minnesota, and my view was obstructed, so I had to move to another position, and that position was like so much better. So now the project takes on a whole life of its own. So I'm just kind of wondering, do you ever have those moments where something just messes up what you were doing and it actually just turns out better because you have to change something? It's a really awesome revelation when that happens. Okay, hope that wasn't too long.
Brian from Minneapolis, thanks. Are you on drugs again? Brian, we love you. Lots there. Where do we begin? Well, yeah, diachronic photography. If you're new here and you don't know, we haven't talked about diachronic photography in a little bit, but it's basically the act of taking a photo of the same place over a long period of time. So it's that's it, really. It's sort of like how I do with that project back there, Lumberland. It's just like revisiting the same spot over and over again. Now, when I do these projects, it's not set on a tripod. There's always a little bit of movement. So I think it's okay to move and change and find the composition that works. I think if you do it drastically, that might change the project, make it something completely different. You kind of have to start over. But I think it's fine to find what works. Like, and you can see over time with certain ones, like subtly move and adjust and find what works, and then you get it and you nail it and you lock in and then you do it. Yeah, video editing, it sucks. It's hard. And especially for photographers who sort of grew up just learning photography. I think kids now, they learn everything and then it's easy and then they don't even give a shit. But like, just looking at this stuff, it's real pain in the ass. And I don't know how to do it. I do the best I can. And, you know, you get better like everything else. So yeah, Brian, thanks for that call. See you in a couple of weeks. I think it is a good idea. And we like to bank content, right? Like we get a bunch going. I think people will find one, then they go back little by little. You watch it and you binge it. I think that's cool. That's fine. We don't get everyone the same day, you know, whatever. So, Brian, thanks so much. Next caller.
Hey Noah, it's Paul calling from the airport again. Still no sign of First Class Dave. But I got another thought for you. When you go on an airplane, what is on your t-shirt is kind of like an advertisement for something. Like it could be like a brand. Like right now there's like a brand on my sweatshirt. And like I'm gonna have to walk past a bunch of people on the airplane. But I'm wearing this t-shirt with the brand logo on it. So I'm sort of like a walking billboard. That is marketing right there. Why aren't more people in ad agencies and creative agencies utilizing this? They can even book people a seat at the back of the airplane, because that way you walk past like 500 people sometimes. Like especially if you're in the back, you board last, which doesn't make sense, but we can talk about that another time. But basically you walk by everybody and everyone's looking at you, because what else are you gonna, I mean, maybe one person's already fallen asleep by the time you're getting on. But for the most part, everyone loves to look at people on planes, like when you walk by everyone. And we know that. Anyway, what are your thoughts on that? I think it could be incredible influencer marketing, or just sort of like personal creator marketing. Like imagine if I had a t-shirt on that just said Noah Kalina on YouTube.
Paul, thanks for that call. I appreciate it. From the airport. People like calling from the airport. It's a good travel show. Watch it on the go. Yeah, brands. I think, you know, that's why brands put their logos big, right? And people willingly buy it. So that's sort of marketing is in the brand. But then also, I think this is called in the brand world freebies, where they give out stuff for free for people to hopefully wear somewhere out, and then they are essentially advertising for them. So it kind of exists. I think paying extra for them to then go on an airplane or go to the airport is just not really worth it. They're just hoping people will eventually do it with the free shit that they were given. Regarding putting a name on a shirt, you know, years ago in Brooklyn, I had a bowling team. We played at the Gutter in Williamsburg, and the name of my team was the Noah Kalinas, and we made shirts. I'm going to show you a picture right here. This is my team. We wore these every week when we played in the league, and we were the only team that had a uniform or anything. And was it brand marketing? I don't know. I don't think I got any work from it, but maybe 5 or 6 people learned my name and Googled me, maybe. So maybe we bring the Noah Kalina t-shirts back. That's some merch for the show. We'll think about it. 2025. Last caller.
Hey, Noah, it's Wesley here in Amsterdam. First of all, I wanted to say that I'm grateful for the channel and for the Hotline show. I look forward to it every week, like I used to look forward to a new episode of Lost, which I think is the last TV show I watched on actual TV as it came out every week with a group of friends all trying to figure out what was going on. Main difference is that show got worse with every season, and I feel the channel keeps getting better, so thank you. I have two questions. First question, what is your favorite Beaver Brook memory? And I'm talking before you moved up there, Beaver Brook. Second question is, are there any other creative outlets that you enjoy just as a hobby, like drawing or painting or, I don't know, knitting sweaters? Yeah, that's it. Hope you're having a good day.
Wesley, thank you for calling, and thank you for those compliments. Thank you for coming every week to watch this. I really appreciate it. It is like Lost, I have no idea what's going to happen next. And I don't think it's getting better. Sometimes I'm wondering, like, am I getting better? Am I getting worse? I just don't know. Like, I feel like overall I've gotten better. But sometimes I look at my stuff and I'm just getting worse and worse. It's really weird. Beaver Brook. Well, if people don't know, Beaver Brook is where the book Cabin Porn came from. A friend of mine, Zach, and his wife, Courtney, bought land not too far from where I live now. And it was where there were cabins, and friends would come up on the weekends or whatever. In the summer, we'd hang out and we'd all get together. And it was a community of friends who just really enjoyed coming up and hanging out or building stuff. And, you know, that eventually led, like, the inspiration blog that Zach made turned into Cabin Porn, which then turned into the book that some people are aware of. Now, in terms of memories, there's a lot of memories. It was so fun back in that era where we still lived in the city and, you know, just wanted to get out, go. And this area to me was completely unknown. So it was really like going into the middle of nowhere to just get lost and be in silence. There was no cell service or anything. You were just kind of off the grid for a couple days. Hard to pick like specific thing. I remember when Brian and Grace, they were building their cabin and they were installing these giant windows, and they got delivered, and we all, like, there was probably 10 or 12 of us. We had to like carry it through the woods, pretty significant distance, because you couldn't pull a car up to it or a truck. So we had to sort of lift these super heavy windows and sort of all together bring it down. And that was just like a fun community moment. And it was helping them build this really phenomenal cabin. This is like a random video I have of Brian and Grace in the cabin. The windows are installed, and this is what it looked like. Just like an awesome cabin, really super cool. Then there was just like some random moments, like I was there with my friend Cassie, and there was a swing. I don't even know when they built this swing, but it was there, and I ran some footage of her going, look at this. Just beautiful, fun, majestic. Just realized didn't answer the question about other creative outlets. And yes, I love to landscape design. It's like one of my hobby passions. It could never really be like a career. It's too late for that for me. But it's what I like to do that is not related to photography, that I feel like is a creative outlet. I kind of want to do a channel, and I've been thinking about this a lot, just relaxing videos, just long shots, things like that, water, nature. So I'm sort of putting that together, just like sort of like an ASMR channel, but visual and peaceful, like screensavers that move. I think it's a popular thing on the internet. That's the show. Thank you for coming. If you've made it this far, I appreciate it. Do the stuff, like, subscribe. The number's in the description below. Give me a call. And we'll talk and think about stuff forever. Maybe.